Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, black, hot cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. In my new favorite coffee mug, which is the logo of my YouTube channel, Hold the Cream. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, "Life is too important to be taken seriously." And my coffee no longer has Kahlua. Who knew? Anyway, excuse me, Lord. Just shot another video too, and suddenly I'm like, there's something in my throat. It's not what you guys are thinking. So anyway, it is Wednesday, August 19th, about 2:15 in the afternoon. And today's topic is, we're going to call it, well, massage and dating. I mean, you all know, if you've watched any of my videos, that I'm very open and honest about things. And, you know, as a single gay male, I date, and I've been a massage therapist for decades and decades. So, you know, I'm in that industry as well. So I did one on massage not too long ago because with the whole pandemic going on, I was speaking about my whole level of comfort with actually seeing clients and all of that. So I wanted to, it's been about a month since I have filmed a video, so I wanted to give the update on that. So when I first started seeing clients again, which was approximately 6 weeks ago, I had just one of my 2 ads up and running. And I sort of needed to do that because I wanted to ease into it. I figure if I only have one running, I'll see half as many clients, which ended up being the case. And what was really quite wonderful about it was the fact that the first couple of weeks, everyone that I saw was someone, a regular that I had seen already. So that made it a lot more comfortable for me because, you know, I was thinking there's going to come a point where I'm going to see someone who I have not seen. And like, how am I going to respond to that? Well, you know, what I do with all of them is I bring up the whole conversation of, you know, COVID, and I say how I had both the swab and the antibody test done, and fortunately both came back negative. And that was, I guess, going on a couple of months ago, because if I've been doing massages about 6 weeks, it was right before that, like literally a week before. And then that's what made me say, all right. So I bring that up. I even go as far as sending them screenshots. You know, I wear a mask. I have them wear a mask. I even went and bought one of those contactless thermometers. So when they walk through my door, I'm like, temperature check. And I let them know ahead of time. Just, you know, and I know, like, when I've told people this, they're like, well, yeah, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean for sure anything. But you know what? Nothing means anything for sure. But I also know that this is what I enjoy doing. This is what I do. And I'm finally at the point where I'm comfortable enough to do it. So having said that, you know, the first 4 weeks that I did it, like I said, I only had the one ad running. I did about half of what I did. So 2 weeks ago, I then thought, when I renewed that ad again, I thought I'm going to renew my second one as well and see what that does. And all of a sudden, it was like gangbusters. So happy to report that the last couple of weeks that I've had both up and running, it's pretty much been back to where it was, pre-pandemic, because right before March, you know, I was keeping busy. I've always done well with it, but, you know, I saw the writing on the wall. So about middle of March, when my ads ran out, I did not renew them. And I went for over 3 months almost 4 months without seeing a client. And now that I'm doing it, I'm a lot more comfortable with it. And, you know, I take my precautions, and so far, so good. And, you know, for me, I really just missed the whole, the therapeutic aspect of it, and the actual human connection and the contact that one makes with the client, giving them the massage. Because, you know, I'm going to be totally honest here, in terms of dating or getting together with you know, buddies, friends with benefits buddies, that's not happened. I have not done that, you know, and it's interesting because I'm almost more comfortable, not almost, I'm a lot more comfortable with the thought of seeing a massage client where I know it's nothing's going to happen that's really like anything sexual. Whereas like if I'm going to like hook up with someone or get together with someone, that wouldn't be the case. And I just, I guess I'm really just not at that point yet, which, it's interesting too, because a lot of my friends already are. And, that might change sooner than later. But, at this point, it really hasn't. But, so that brings me up to the whole, dating aspect of this video. So I've spoken about like the whole online dating thing and being on different websites and different apps. So it's interesting because, a lot of times in like the last year or so when I've thought of it and when I've actually, gotten together with people that I'll meet, I always go in it with the hopes of, maybe we'll hit it off and want to see each other again. But let's keep it real. A lot of these sites, even if they're dating sites, they really are more so like hookup sites. And, men can be men, myself included. And, 9 times out of 10, you see the person once. And even if it's great, there's a good chance that you're probably not going to see them again anyway. So I had been toying with the idea for the last year of like just frankly getting off of them. So about a year ago, I was probably on like 10 different things and 10 different like sites, and I deleted my profile on like half of them. So, I was pretty much down to like Adam for Adam, Manhunt, Silver Daddies, because who don't love a Silver Daddy, right? Those are the 3 like sites. And then the 2 apps that I was on were Grindr and Scruff. And notice I said was on them, putting it in past tense, because a couple of weeks ago, right when I renewed my massage ads, and I saw that like, that was happening, and I was sort of thinking, why am I sitting here even being on these sites and entertaining the thought of being with anyone when I don't really want to right now? That might change, but, so a couple of weeks ago, you guys are going to be shocked when you hear this, but I don't know why, but that weekend that I renewed the second massage ad, all of a sudden I found myself thinking, I've been saying to myself that I want to do this, so why don't I do it? It being getting myself off of these sites. So you will be surprised to learn that Saturday night I thought about it, and like I went to bed, and I'm always the kind of person that if I think of something and if it's something like that, that's kind of major for me. I'm like, let me not be impulsive. Let me like sleep on it. So when I woke up Sunday morning, it was so crystal clear to me that was exactly what I needed to do. So that morning I deleted my profile on all of them. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember when I deleted it off the last one, thinking to myself, wow, I fucking actually did this. But when I think about it, since I got my first computer, which was, over 20 years ago, I guess late 90s, 97, 98, something like that. Even though like sites were not necessarily around back then, you did have like the chat rooms of AOL, when America was on America Online. So like even from day one, I've always met people online. I've dated, you've hooked up, I've done all of that. But then all of a sudden, like, the last year, it's sort of like when I do it, half the time it's not even worth it anyway. And then since the pandemic, I'm like, why am I even on these when I'm not utilizing them? And it was interesting too, because at times I would find myself like, if I were bored, then I would like maybe like find myself on these sites or on these apps and just, kind of looking, but then nothing would come of it anyway because I wasn't actively looking. Although I will say the interesting part is, the last 5-6 months or so that we've been dealing with this, I can't tell you the amount of guys that actually have hit on me and who have wanted to like get together. And then when I've said to them, well, I'm not like hooking up these days, they would actually say, well, why? Why not? Why not? Because there's a pandemic going on. And, it's, and let me put this out there because you guys know I'm totally honest with things. What I was finding also was the guys that were hitting on me that would want to hook up were all high doing drugs. And, I've smoked my weed, I've done my stuff, but it's a bunch of like, meth heads. And I just think to myself, well, if these bitches are out there doing this and you know, in the middle of a pandemic, that means they never stopped fucking around. So that's the last bitch I want to be with, because that's probably the first one that's going to have, if not that, God knows what. So I don't know, that night, I don't know why I was thinking about that, but I was like, And so I woke up the next morning, and lo and behold, I deleted my profile on all of them. So it's been, you know, a couple of weeks now, and I have to admit, there's something... not relieving, what's it, almost like liberating is the word I was looking for. And almost like this weight has been lifted off my shoulder. Because even though I wasn't like actively on them for the last, you know, however many months, 5-6 months, what has happened is, you know, my force of habit would be if I would get a notification that, you know, someone sent you a smile or someone sent you an email or message, then I would go and look at it. Or even if they didn't, I just was in such a habit of every day checking them. So I realized, like, now that I'm not on any of them, and I said I was down to the last 5, and now that I'm not on those 5, I'm like, wow, I have so much more time, or not a hell of a lot more time, but, you know, the time, you realize how much time was spent even just periodically, even if it was just once or twice a day, like checking your email or checking that or responding to whoever and going nowhere with it anyway. So, you know, even if it's just like half an hour, it's half an hour more that I have to, you know, devote to things that matter, whether it's, you know, my YouTube channel or whatever, catch up on phone calls. So anywho, so that is the whole point of this video, that shockingly enough, I'm not on any dating sites or apps, and it's actually been quite wonderful. And, you know, happy to report that, like, you know, I'm a lot more comfortable seeing my clients, and I love that part of it. And frankly, I get so much more satisfaction out of seeing my clients versus just these, you know, random hookups, or like even, you know, getting together with regulars, you know. Then maybe that would change. I don't think the going back on these sites will, because that to me is liberating, and it's actually quite wonderful. So, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for the longest. So I'm proud of myself that I did it. I know some people might be listening to this and saying, "What? You crazy bitch?" But yeah, I guess we all are a little bit. Some people might say I was crazy for being on so many sites from the get-go. But it's what I needed to do for me, or wanted to do for me, and this is currently what's working for me. So what are your like experiences? You know, I'm curious, because I'm, you know, if you're someone like myself who's not been, like, let's say you're single and you've not been hooking up with anyone or even getting together with like regular buddies, you know, and let's say you were on these sites or on these apps, you know, did you get off them, or are you just like staying on them, and maybe like when things settle, which will be God knows when, then maybe you'll become, you know, more active with them again? I don't know. But again, this is what I had to do for me. So leave your comments, leave your thoughts. As always, I'm so glad you guys are here with me. Hope I didn't give anyone a heart attack, because I know this is such shocking news. But again, I'm glad I did it. So thanks so much for tuning in, for subscribing. Don't forget, hit your notifications, give me a thumbs up. I'm glad you guys are here with me, and I look forward to the next time. Alrighty guys, signing off. Love you. Bye.